Hello everybody, welcome to the United Stands. I'm Mark Goldbridge. This is your latest Manchester United news as we preview Manchester United against West Ham in the Premier League. And before anybody starts moaning, I actually think we go strong on this game. Not because of the league table. If somebody wants to tell me what West Ham and Spurs' remaining fixtures are, we could do with winning this game, but obviously we've still got to go to Chelsea. We've got Villa. They're both going to be really going hard for those games. I think there's a big chance we're going to finish fourth from bottom anyway, but that's not why I want to go strong. I want to go strong for a reason I'm about to tell you. We've also got a disturbing, concerning update on Gyökeres to Arsenal. We maybe talk more about that on the 8 o'clock show, but I'll talk to you about that. Also, some interesting interviews with Amas and Fredriksson, which shines a light on going from being a young player into the first team. So we'll talk about that as well. You may have noticed that it's arrived. You can get yours as well. United, the Butchers of Bilbao, back in town to finish a job. These T-shirts are now available. If you want to get yours, commemorative memorabilia for the big game. We've also got it in red as well. Links in the chat, and you can get involved with that. Thank you very much. But look, we start with the, let's have a look at the predicted lineup, because I think that the reason I want to go strong in this game is because we are preparing for a final now. And because we're preparing for a final, I think we've got to get as many minutes as we can for certain players. So look, for example, there's no Bruno in this team. What I'm thinking is, I want Bruno to play 90 minutes against Chelsea on Friday, so give him a rest in this game. Same with Harry Maguire, same with Mazraoui. I'm basically looking at my team. People say play the kids. No, don't play play Amas because we need him to play and I consider him as the backup left back at the moment. But I don't think we need to play, Kone or Morehouse or Fredriksson or anyone like that. He might do it, but I'm really thinking, what's my team for the final? What's my bench for the final? And therefore, I'm giving minutes to people to show me what they can do. Mason Mount's got to start a game of football. Do you really want him to start against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge? I just think that brings connotations of atmosphere and stress and pressure. I'm sure he'll be involved, but start him at Old Trafford against West Ham. He hasn't started a game. I don't think he's started a game since Man City in December. So 2 goals, start him in the game. Let's see what he can do from the start of a game because it's different when you're coming off the bench. Garnacho I would start, but take him off after half an hour for Ahmad, and then Ahmad starts against Chelsea. So that's what I'm thinking here. Rasmus I start, and then I take him off at half-time for Obi. That, he's done his 45 minutes then. Obviously, you're going to bring Bruno on at some point. Mainu needs 90 minutes. Agate went off early, give Casemiro a rest. Amas on the left allows us to put Dorgu on the right and, completely rest Mazraoui. Maguire gets a rest by playing Lindelof. Luke Shaw needs to start a game of football. You play him. And then Yoro, you play him for an hour. And then maybe you bring Fredriksson on. Anana needs to play because I don't see the point in resting your goalkeeper that's going to play in the final. So I don't think that will be the team, but I'd like that to be the team. We have been predicting it correctly. Maybe Ruben is watching, but he could do a multiple of other things. He could start Bruno and bring Mount on. He could give Eriksen minutes. He could give Casemiro an hour. I don't know, but I don't agree with the game doesn't matter. I don't agree with let's rotate and play the kids. I actually think now the players are buzzing. And I think it's just about giving people the right amount of minutes that you don't overexert them, but you give them, that sharpness. Everybody needs to be getting minutes. That is really, really important. So, yeah, that's how I would go. Let me know what your thoughts are. So yeah, basically people are going to, well, it matters, but it doesn't matter. What doesn't matter to me is the result. I think the result will come naturally from picking these players, taking people off, bringing other players on like Ahmad. I think we will win this game because although we've been dreadful in the Premier League, Chelsea and Villa are going to really go at us because they need to for top 5. West Ham, at home, they're not very good. We're not very good, but we're in a final and we've got places to play for. So I expect us to win. I think it'll be 2-0 to United. And I'm happy with that team. So let me know your thoughts. I'm looking forward to it. I think that the Wolves game, that was straight after Lyon and Bournemouth and Brentford. Those games were a bit of a chore. We're in the final now. We've got 2 games before the final. These are different games now. I think these are about, who wants their space in the final. As we know, Garnacho, Mount, Ahmad, Bruno, they're all playing for those two places. In the midfield, you're trying to get in the midfield. The centre-backs, I think there's a lot of places up for grabs. So I expect to see a kick-on in performance. But we do need to try and avoid injury as well. But you have got to give people minutes. So that's that. Let me know your thoughts. Obviously, West Ham, as we saw, they're fourth from bottom. And there's a real chance that we do end up fourth from bottom. But as we said yesterday, sixth from bottom and don't win the final, fourth from bottom and do win the final. It's not going to make any difference, is it? It's all about, do you win the final? And we can all pretend, and I'm sure if we lose on Sunday, the same old Amorim out crew will be there and they'll be moaning about systems and this, that and the other, but let them do it. I mean, I don't expect to lose. I would be disappointed with a bad performance against West Ham, not because of the Premier League, but because we are 2 games out from the final, and I want to see people staking a claim for the final. It's time to turn up. You might only play an hour because Amorim's going to be preparing people, not overexerting them. So go out there and show what you're all about. I don't want to see people thinking they're in the final. I don't want people thinking they're protecting themselves for the final. There are places to play for 100%. I want to just talk about a couple of bits that Amas has said and Fredrickson as well. But before we do that, you may have seen this morning, I mentioned it on the show, that Zubimendi is a here we go to Arsenal. Well, this afternoon, reports are coming in from Portugal that Gyökeres bid has gone in from Arsenal. Now, we'll probably know a little bit more later on, but I just don't think Arsenal are messing about. They brought in Berta as their director of football, and I think a lot of things have been going on behind the scenes. They know they've had a disappointing season. They know what they need, and I just don't think they're going to mess about. And I think this is a bit of a concern because obviously we have got a week and a half before that final, and I think if we win that final, we can have a conversation with Gyökeres. But if he's already agreed to go to Arsenal before, we can't have that conversation. So Arsenal might be getting him anyway, but we can't be in the conversation until after that final. So it could be a very clever, I mean, I applaud it. I think it could be a very good move by Arsenal just to try and get that deal done before United play, because I don't think he's going to go anywhere else. And I tell you what, you can get excited about Delap, you can get excited about Jonathan David, but I'm telling you, Gyökeres will be an absolute revelation in the Premier League. I'm absolutely convinced he will be a goal-scoring machine. And it will be a shame to miss out on him when he's a player that plays our system, knows Amorim. We took him from Sporting. We should be taking Gyökeres as well. But let's wait and see how that develops. But yeah, could be the end of that conversation very quickly if Arsenal get their way. Let's have a look at what. Look, I'm very interested in the conversation that goes on constantly about young players and how they should be doing better, and they're not doing as well as they should do, and are they really that good? And I think it's just, it surprises me really, because we have got a lot of young players in that team, Garnacho, Dorgu, etc. But look, this is what Harry Amas had to say about the jump from the academy to the first team. He said the tempo is higher, the physicality is tougher. I expected that, but the tactical side is more present. You always have to be attentive because many more expected things can happen, and you have to be ready to react. He said, Luke Shaw is the player I look up to. He's got a lot of experience that he doesn't hesitate to share with me, which helps me a lot. He's a world-class left-back. There's a lot to take from him on and off the pitch. And look, I think there's a lot of people out there, myself included, who think that there are very big similarities between Harry Amas and the way he plays at left-back and the way prime Luke Shaw plays. So to have that person in the club to work off and work with and be sort of mentored by is absolutely fantastic. But also the truth is that I think we are over the top with our young players. I don't know whether it's the Yamal effect. I don't know what it is that certain fans think if a 19-year-old or a 20-year-old has a bad game, they're rubbish. Like, as I said yesterday, Patrice Evra was playing for Nice in League 2 at 20. I said yesterday, Dorgu is playing for Manchester United first team at 20. When you look at the comparisons, Patrice Evra ended up being a legend of the club and one of the world's best left-backs. Look at where he was at 20. Look at where Rio Ferdinand was at 20, playing for West Ham. Hadn't even moved to Leeds yet. So we do need to contextualise things. We are over-promoting our youth because of the way the club is being run. But history shows you that a lot of the players that end up being world-class legends, whatever, at 2019 weren't actually playing first team football. And there's nothing in, well, top level first team football for Man United. There's nothing in history or the modern day evolution of football that makes it easier or better for a 19, 20-year-old. You can't say, well, that was 20 years ago. We're now in 2025. Bodies, minds still develop at the same rate, at the same pace. We have over-promoted a lot of young players who are basically thrown in at the deep end without any armbands and told to swim. And I think they are swimming. It might not be pretty. They might go under a little bit, but they are swimming. None of them have drowned under the pressure. And I don't think we remember that enough, that it's absolutely expected that 19, 20, 18-year-olds are going to have bad games. It's called development. The thing is, we're just not used to that because that development takes place elsewhere. Like Beckham went to Preston, etc. Or Scholes would be in and out of the team because you had big players like Cantona and Hughes who were playing ahead of him. So he'd just have little cameos, nurture. We're throwing them in, play every week. So I think that's something that we just need to bear in mind. Fredrickson also spoke as well. He said, the player I looked up to, all the lads are great, but considering my position, I'd say it's Harry Maguire. He's a leader, a really good example for me. He gives me a lot of advice. Before my first game, he said, stay calm, keep it simple, and build yourself into the game, and then you will be fine, which I think is great advice. Absolutely great advice. And it's good and it's needed, but, you know, we're talking about Luke Shaw, who is a mentor for Harry Amas, who never plays football, really. And we're talking about Harry Maguire, who could have been leaving this summer. We've given him another year, but this is why you need experience. Harry Maguire's not going to be here in 2 years' time. Luke Shaw might not be here in a year's time if he can't get back fit. There are leaders in that club. Bruno is another one. Casemiro is another one. But they are a bit thin on the ground, which is why I think there's an abundance of young players at the club. There's not an abundance of leaders. And this just goes back to it, doesn't it? You know, these are great things that Fredrickson and Amas are saying, but we do need to bring more experience, more role models into the football club because they are so important, as they've said in that interview. Thanks everybody for watching. I'm back live with you at 8 o'clock. Let me know what you think about the team. Let me know what your thoughts are in relation to, you know, whether we'll win. I'm going to go with a 2-0 win. What are your thoughts on the Gyökeres story that's developing? And obviously you might have a few comments around what I've said about the youth and patience and more leaders required. If you like the t-shirt, by the way, you can scan the QR code or go through the link in the video description. Get yours ahead of the final. I will speak to you on the next one. Take care. 8 o'clock live, actually, is when I'll speak to you next.